Well, good morning, everyone. We're leaving the provincial park in Newfoundland known as Pistolet or Pistolet or
Pistolet.
Pistolet. Pistolet.
Pistolet.
Yeah, we had a fella tell us what it was, but I'm not convinced.
The accent was thick.
I think he was having fun with us. I don't know.
Because he made it sound like piss toilet.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're on our way down to
Conche.
Conche, we think.
Or Conche.
And we're
It's
gonna
like a conch shell.
Yeah.
It's the French coast.
And we're going to stay at a harvest house.
So Conche is on the eastern coast of the Great North Peninsula, part of the French area. We're actually staying at the French Interpretation Center. They're the harvest hosts.
Yep.
And there is a lot of trails around there. So hoping we get there early enough we can do the Glass Hole Trail and have some fun there and see the coast. And we might see some more icebergs.
More icebergs, because you can never get enough of that, let me tell you. All right, we're on our way. Bye.
Don was worried that this was going to be a gravel road and we'd have to make a risk assessment decision. But it's actually been probably one of the nicer roads we've been on.
Definitely.
So far in the last 5 nights, 6 days that we've been in Newfoundland. So nice. And there's a good example of the gardens that are on the side of the road. But this is a little bit more trees, still scrubby. And when we get to the coast, it'll be a bit more rugged like St. Anthony was. But it looks like this road is maintained, and so the government has a commitment to these communities that are at the end of this, which are fairly remote. There's somebody stopped on the side of the road.
And they're gardening.
They're gardening. They're working on their garden. Soil here, it's by the bogs and everything. It's super, you can see it's just rich and black and gorgeous. So they've got the best soil here. And it's open, and there's no sign of irrigation or anything. Oh, there he is tilting it. Working away.
So this is the harbor that we're overlooking as we stay here at the French Coast Interpretation Center. And this is coming down. It's been a little bit foggy today. It's had some rain today, but generally been quite lovely. So we're about to go out on a walk. And if we make the right turn, we'll eventually come across an airplane that crashed here in 1942. We'll see. Stay tuned.
So, Don?
Yes.
Where are we? What is this?
We're in Conche, Newfoundland, and we're at the site of a Boston BZ 277 crash, and it was being piloted by Robert Morrow, who was the pilot at the time. He had been shot down earlier, and he was trying to get back to the war, and these planes were being transported to Greenland. They were flying at about 20,000 feet, or that was their planned elevation, and there was 2 storm fronts coming in. And they ended up being trapped in between, and the plane started to ice up. So they veered back off course towards Newfoundland to see if they could land. And in fact, this is where they land. The navigator bailed out and was rescued overland. And the other 2 guys rode the plane down, and they had minor injuries, but everybody walked away. And then a ship was dispatched from Dartmouth in order to bring the crew back so they could continue to fly more planes. So these were planes that were being transported to the war, and this happened on November 30th, 1942 at 11:32 hours Greenwich Mean Time, and the pilot Morrow, the navigator Tamblin, and radio operator McLaughlin had taken off from Gander in order to ferry these planes over to the UK. So the plane here has been salvaged to its entirety. There's basically just the fuselage left, and the town has chosen to leave it here to commemorate the site and the incident that happened all those years ago. So Conche's little brush with the war. Okay, we're in the glass hole trail, and we's walking. The boys are pulling like an old freight train. I'm getting my head bashed with water, and we're coming to a cliff. Oh, that's pretty wild. Apparently this trail's not made for people who are 5 feet 11 inches. But if you're 5'2", you're good to go. And what do we got out there?
Ocean somewhere.
Holy moly.
What's down there?
That is like a major... She goes down there a long way, boy. And then there's a cliff way over there. Yeah. And then it's fog. I think that's ocean down there.
Yeah, because
Ladies and gentlemen, we are standing at what appears to be the edge of the earth. This cliff goes straight down. Oh my God. And you can see the ocean out there because the fog's lifted in this wee bit of a cove. So Tracey, how are you feeling about standing at the edge of the earth? And do you think that our walk back to the Shire through these lovely rocks and trees and forests and stuff has been worth the effort of your heart rate hitting 5,052?
It's been worth the climb, that's for sure.
It's been worth the climb, eh?
Yeah.
Because we're literally standing here at the edge of a cliff. Oh my God.
It's a pretty mighty cliff.
It's a very big cliff. Like we're up at least like, I don't know, I'm going to say 700-800 feet. It feels like we're higher than the dam was. We've come to the edge of another cliff. It's foggy, foggy, foggy. And way down there, there's a little bit of a beach inlet. When you see the white, that's the wave coming in and crashing against the beach. Ever so gently, it's not bad at all. And I'm just gonna pan up here through the fog. You can see the edge of that whole hill right there. All the way down to the ocean. I don't know how high we are. Like, I really don't know, but that is unspeakable. Look at this cliff. We're just standing here like two gits. Wow doesn't even describe it.
I know.
Folks, we're standing here at the edge of what can only be described as an unbelievable feat of nature, perseverance, and overall beauty of the natural world. It's a little bit foggy, but we're standing here atop a cliff that's probably 5,000 or 6,000 feet in the air. Or probably a couple hundred. I don't know. 5,000 or 6,000 sounds better, right? Okay, wait, I'll get back to my dramatic voice. And it's an unbelievable view that we have of the cove on the Glass Hole Trail. Here in Newfoundland, it's a balmy +8 with fog rolling in. And if you peer deeply, you can see the white line at the bottom of this canyon. And as it appears and disappears, and that would be the waves coming back in against the beach. Outstanding natural beauty here in the northern peninsula of Newfoundland.
Good morning.
Morning.
We are making our way out of Conche, and I say out of it because basically you kind of go through a hill and you come into a deep area cove. We had a harvest host spot there last night at the French Shore Interpretive Center, and we went into the Interpretation Center, which was so cool. It had information about the history of the French Shore, which basically, through the different histories, back when the British and the French were kind of fighting over this land, the French had it, and the French would come over in season and fish here. And they had these things called French rooms that they worked on. We learned about stories about, like, for example, that young men that came in there called mousses, M-O-U-S-S-E, and they were young as 8 years old, usually orphans or people from very poor families who want to make their fortune as fishermen. So you had these 8-year-olds cleaning the deck and cleaning the fish, and tough life, you know. But I guess they made money, you know, the fishermen and everything. And for the French, they were using this as a training area for turning these fishermen into sailors to add to their navy. So really interesting. But the coolest thing that Don was looking at was the tapestry. Well, 2004 marked the 500-year anniversary of French presence in Newfoundland. That's a lot of years. As a result of that event, this cool idea was conceived to create an embroidered tapestry, yes, an embroidered tapestry, that would document the entire history of the French shore up until then. The original idea was from a French artist named Jean-Claude Roy and his Newfoundland-born wife, Christina. He created the illustrations, and she did much of the research. They collaborated with a number of people in the town of Conche to make this brainchild happen. The design was inspired by an 11th century Bayeux tapestry of similar length that documented the Norman conquest of England in 1066. So they wanted to make it have that feel, but not be exactly like it. The stitching began way back in 2006 and was finished in 2010 because it took 20,000 hours to stitch this thing. My God, that is a lot of hours embroidering. There were 4 stitchers who did most of the work. The whole tapestry covers French shore history from before man, prehistoric time, to 2010, which was present day when they finished it. It's a very symbolic thing, as embroidery is a traditional craft in rural Newfoundland. They made it on linen twill that was from Scotland, and they selected Appleton crewel wool from England, thought to be some of the best wool to use for this type of thing. A custom frame was even made by a local carpenter that would allow multiple people to work together and stitch. Well, they had to if they had to do 20,000 hours. It's a real sight to behold, and so worth the drive to Conche to see. They somehow fit it into one room, stringing it along and ribboning through the room, and it's just a gorgeous piece of work. We are just packing up and getting ready to leave this amazing boondocking spot that we found. Oh, he's running up here.
You're not the only internet.
Try again.
You're not the only internet star, you know.
Our 5s of people are really enjoying us.
We have 5s of people. Is there a problem?
Anyways, we just had this amazing boondocking spot. We're just outside of Aux Choix, which is a National Historic Site. And we're on the west coast of Newfoundland, heading down to Grossmore, and woohoo! Anyways, this is just such a beautiful spot, and we've had this amazing, amazing area. I just got rid of you.
I'm still here, you know.
This is where we were parked. Had the place to ourselves for the most part. A couple of people came to walk their dogs this morning, but this is to me the quintessential boondocking spot.
We've been watching the guys drop lobster traps here all morning. You can see a couple boats out here, but they've been all out through this bay.
Yeah, this is Aux Choix is like the temperatures here, like there was frost last night. It wasn't here.
No.
So this is like a little micro climate that grows a lot of really cool stuff, and also there is a beautiful plethora of walruses come here, and whales and seals and crabs. And I actually really find it interesting that the cod industry collapsed in the 90s, and now what I'm seeing is a lot of seafood. So people are doing crab, they're doing shrimp, they're doing lobster. So we're gonna have to partake of that. At least I am this week. I'm pretty
I wish I could, but sadly the cholesterol goes straight to my heart. So it's better that I don't do that, because a lot of people find that my diet's extreme, but I think getting my chest ripped open and my heart redone is pretty more extreme. So.
And when I had my last blood work, my HDL was the best my doctor and my son-in-law had ever seen. So yeah. My cholesterol's doing good, so I can handle a little bit of it. We're kind of having it every 3 to 4 days, having some most of the time kind of do it. But this is just a beautiful quintessential boondocking spot, and we just had a really nice time here last night. It was actually sunny this morning, but it ain't anymore.
Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Well, Tracy, how was that?
Just loved it. What a great spot.
How would you rank this boondocking location compared to all the rest?
Second best.
Second best?
Oh, no. Oh.
Better than Wabush?
Wabush is number 1.
Okay.
Wabush is number 1, but I also like Saint Lunaire when we were right on the bay,
right
by the restaurant.
Yeah.
And we literally had the bay right in our back steps. That one was pretty cool too. And
so
then,
top 3.
But then there's Burnt Cape, where we were between the isthmus, between the two Pistolet Bay and Haha Bay, right by the ecological reserve.
So
that
top
cool.
4.
Yeah, I think that would be it.
Top 4.
Top 4. And we're off. This was a great stay, but definitely needed to navigate some potholes. 12-foot wide potholes.
Lakes.
Little mini lakes. I like to think of it as like an in-ground pool, but just... Oops. So beautiful. Such a beautiful, beautiful spot. But now, the potholes. Just go around them.
Yeah, the trailer's still going to get dragged through part of it.
Yeah. Okay, everybody. Drug through it or drag through?
Drug!
It's dragged.
It's not.
It's going to get dragged through it.
That's incorrect language.
No. Your language is...
perfect. Thank you.
It's dragged.
Listen, I'm an engineer, and one thing we know is English. We know how to speak it.
You're a country boy.
I am what?
You're a country boy. You're not from a city. From little old Bracebridge.
Okay, you're a city slicker then.
I am, and I know how to speak properly. Look at these trees. These must be the Tuckamore trees.
Yeah.
Look at them. See how the winds have just knocked them over? But they continue to live. We were told about that by Terry at the Daily Catch. Very cool restaurant. If you're ever in the northern peninsula of Newfoundland, you must go there. Fresh seafood. Oh, so good. And live entertainment on Wednesdays. Oh, they don't seem so bad today. I guess because the rain, they dried up.
Well, now they don't. Now they're not mystery depth.
Yeah, now you can't see them. Yeah.
Because before they were full of water.
Yeah, exactly. But still very navigable. This is just a little creek.
This is just slightly wider than we are. So I got to thread the needle here.
Yeah.
2 brownie points for threading the needle.
You're doing a great job, babe.
Oh, yes. Well, we're not stuck yet.
We're not stuck
Lean
yet.
back.
Well, we didn't get stuck getting in, so I figure we're okay.
I just well got stuck there.
Yeah, you do fine. And we're off.
Things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays, way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright, and for the first time in a long time I'm alright.
The Arches. This is unreal, but it doesn't really tell you the perspective of how big this is. Tracy,
yeah.
Hold that.
Oh, I thought I was going to go in there.
I'm going in there.
I want to go in there.
I'm going in there.
Aw, you get all the fun.
I'm going to go in here and probably die.
There we go. It's pretty big.
It's pretty big.
It's incredible.
That's what you call your basic carriage. You drive a small locomotive through it.
First time I saw an arch like this was a coral arch that has since broken down in Aruba. Aruba.
Okay, so there's Arch 1. And you got a bit of perspective of how big the arch is. And now we'll just move along here. Okay, Tracy's busy not acting right now. She's doing the au naturel. If I could just get her to turn around and face the camera. Your Highness,
Hey there.
can you give me a big eagle spread?
What?
Go that way. You're not even in the highest part.
There you go. Woohoo! And we are lakeside at yet to be named pond, which is what they call lakes here. So this actually is the size of a lake. Some of them are the size of a pond, but we're doing the coastal trail within Gros Morne National Park, and we're going along the coast, but we've come inland a bit. We're going through a mystical forest, and we just saw this lake, so we thought we'd come and have a look at it and see if there's any caribou-boos or some moose, but sadly, fake news.
No moosies.
No moosies. Next time on Travel Bugs 2020.